All right, welcome back to the Flip Classroom by Mr. Thornburg. What we have here today is a really short video. I think this week coming back we're only going to have two videos. So let's get this one started. Okay, what you need to know about today, we're going to be adding and subtracting polynomials. First thing you need to know before we can even get into adding and subtracting polynomials is what a monomial is. Okay, a monomial is a real number, variable, or product thereof. Now it's nothing crazy. I mean, a number is a monomial. If I write on the board a 6, that's a monomial. If I write 3x, that's a monomial. Okay, and I give you some examples right here: -7 5x, -2xy, x squared, y times z. These are all monomials. Okay, to the first degree. Here's some examples. What it means to be to the first degree is the sum of the exponents of the variables. So right here, 4x, the only variable is x, and it's to the first degree. You know, we never write that 1, so this is a first degree monomial. This is a first degree monomial. Again, the only variable we have is y. It's to the first degree. It's first degree monomial. W, first degree monomial. Okay, what about second degree? What do they look like? Well, if you look, the only difference is all the variables are to the second degree, x squared, y squared. Here, I have two variables. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so I'm taking the sum of all the exponents of the variables. Down here to the third degree, I could have one variable cubed, absolutely, or I could have one variable squared and one variable to the first. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then here 1 plus 2 is 3. I could also have x, y, z. One variable, or first power, first power, first power. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Those are all to the third degree. Okay, so these are first degree monomials, second degree monomials, third degree monomials. All right. Okay, so go through here and tell me what the degree of the monomial is. I'll do the first one with you. Okay, this one again, monomials, I'm only concerned about the variable. The variable is x. The degree is 3. So this is a third degree monomial. Okay, try these next three. Pause the screen, try it, then hit resume and we'll go through them. Okay, this one could have been a little bit tricky for you. Hopefully you didn't see this one, stop, and then just give up. Hopefully you worked these out, because I really think that you should have got this one, and that this one, most of you should have got too. This one, is there a variable? Nope, no variable. Still a monomial, but there's no variable. So the degree is 0. No variable, degree is 0. Okay, this one. We have two variables, 1, 2. So 2 plus 5, remember the sum of their exponents. This is a 7th degree. Okay? Over here, we have 3 variables. So 1 plus 3 is 5. It's a 5th degree monomial. Okay? A lot of homework questions on this. Hopefully you nail those down pretty easily. Alright, so now let's go for a polynomial. Okay, we talked about monomials, now we're in polynomials. Okay, polynomial is a really broad term that encompasses a lot of things. It's like saying there's a ship out there. Okay, there are a lot of different types of ships and boats. So that's what polynomial is. It's explaining a whole crew of different types of ships and boats that we're going to start being able to classify. Okay, that's what a big thing in this chapter is. First ones we have the monomial. Okay, single term. Okay, we can tell there's no variable, so the degree is 0. Okay, this is the name by degree. Okay, and you've heard us call that a constant before. If there's no variable, then it's a constant. Okay, and this is the name by number of terms. Number of terms. Okay, and this is the polynomial that we're dealing with. Okay, so I see there's no variable. It's to the 0 degree. The 0 degree means that it is a constant. Okay, these two are linked up, and then because there's only one term, it's a monomial. It's a monomial. Okay, here's the first time you really see one that we say this has two terms. Okay, this one has two terms. How do we know that? Terms are always separated by adding or subtracting. Okay, and that's what this says right here. Alright, polynomial is a broad term that describes one or more monomials that are added or subtracted. So I have 1, 2, separated by minus. So two terms means it's a binomial. This I get from two terms. Okay? The degree is 1 because x is to the 1 power, which makes it a linear. We've done that, graphing lines, y equals mx plus b. We know that. Okay. All right. Here we have three terms. 1, 2, 3. These three terms make it a trinomial. Pretty easy, right? Trinomial, like tricycle. Pretty straightforward. Not much there. Okay. The degree now is not a sum. It's the highest degree. Okay. The degree of a polynomial is the same degree of the term with the highest degree. This degree means exponent, so it's just squared. Okay, it's not like a monomial. It's different. So whenever we see squared, we're talking about a quadratic. This one term, it's not separated by a plus or minus, so one term makes it a monomial. And the degree is 3, so it's a cubic. Okay? This one, there are three terms. It is separated by plus and minuses, which makes it a trinomial. Okay? And fourth degree, no fancy word, just call it a fourth degree. We could call it a quartic, but I'm not going to put you through that, okay? This stuff you need to know. Make sure you know this stuff. It'll make the rest of the chapter a lot easier, okay? All right, let's try some examples. So here, write the polynomial in standard form. Okay, well, if I'm writing in standard form, I got to put the highest degree first, so this becomes 5x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay? Next, we want to classify it based on its degree. Okay? So here's the degree. Remember, in a polynomial, it's the highest one. Come on. Oh, it put me back to black. Come on. What's this, amateur hour? Here we go. Alright, so that makes this a quadratic if you look at your chart. This is a quadratic. Okay? And then finally, we want to talk about, name it by the number of terms. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, so that makes it a trinomial. Whoops. Okay, I'll walk you through this next one too. So again, standard form. To write this in standard form, we're going to have to write the highest degree first. The highest degree is 3, so 7x cubed, but be careful, there's a negative in front of it, so it's negative. Then plus 3x. Alright, so there's one of my answers. Next answer, I got to classify it on its degree, based on its degree. Well, the degree is 3. We look at our chart, we see that's a cubic. Okay, so we do write cubic out there. And then finally, based on the number of terms, there's 2 terms, so binomial. Alright. Next example, to add or subtract polynomials. Okay, you got 2 different methods that you could choose for them when you're adding or subtracting. And this is the final thing we'll talk about today. When we're adding or subtracting polynomials, the real big basic thing you need to know is it's combine like terms. Okay, and the 2 methods we're going to talk about are the horizontal and the vertical. The horizontal, which I'll do with this one here, looks like this. Okay, you basically write one of them out, so 4x squared minus 3x plus 5, and then we're adding, so plus, and underneath this I'm going to write the other one, but I'm only going to write it under the proper term. So here's 2x, so I'm going to put that one right underneath the negative 3x, and here's the negative 3, that's a constant, so I'm going to put that right underneath the 5. Okay, now we just add this, so 5 plus a negative 3 is 2. Negative 3x plus 2x is negative 1x. Okay, and then 4x squared plus 0 is 4x squared. So our final answer is 4x squared minus x plus 2. Okay, other method we know is the horizontal method. Now the horizontal method pretty much works like what you're seeing right here. You just combine like terms, but you work horizontally across. So I got a 3x cubed. Alright, I have a 2x cubed and I'm adding. So I'll cross both these off and write down a 5x cubed. I got a negative 9x. I have no x term at all over here, so negative 9x plus 0 is negative 9x. I'm going to cross him off. I got 5 plus a negative 7. So it's really 5 minus 7, so negative 2. I'm going to cross both those off, and there is my answer. Okay, horizontal, vertical, sorry. Wow, was not meaning to do that, but I did these backwards. Let me, done. Let me switch those around for you. Glad I caught that. Okay, let's try this again. So this was the vertical method. God, you guys would have changed that in your notes. And this is the horizontal method. Alright, you point out that mistake to me on Monday and I'll give you extra credit. That's a big one. I'm going to leave it in. Okay, try this last one on your own and push pause, and then when you resume, we'll go over them and we're done. Alright, because of my egregious error before, I wanted to make sure I corrected that on here and just put this was a horizontal and this was the vertical. This is your answers you should have got. Be careful with this subtraction. The subtraction is always going to mess you up a little bit. So go through, you can see what I did. This one, 3x minus a negative 3x is really 3x plus 3x, which is 0. Okay? Alright, see you in class.